everyone, and welcome to Cannes. The world's biggest film festival kicks off Wednesday evening. But as we are already here on the French Riviera, we thought we would give you a pre-Cannes special to get you in the movie mood. Over the next 2 weeks, stars from all over the planet will be in town to show off their new films and to make the famous march up the Cannes Red Steps. It all builds up to the closing ceremony when jury president George Miller will hand out the prestigious Palme d'Or, the Golden Palm. Now, George Miller is that Australian director behind the Mad Max movies, and his last film in that franchise, Mad Max Fury Road, was screened here in Cannes before going on to win 6 Academy Awards. Laurent Lafitte and Haxie Myers-Belkin found out more.
La, la, la.
What links a talking pig, dancing penguins, and a vengeful policeman? Director George Miller. This year at Cannes, the Coen brothers are making way for a new jury president, the brains behind Mad Max. In 1979, the former Doctor's first feature film brimmed with violence and relentless tension. A minimalist coup.
Well, that was the budget. We had 350,000 Australian dollars to make it, and there were 30 people on the crew.
An orgy of engines and blood, Mad Max, starring a young Mel Gibson, was an instant hit. On the back of its success, Steven Spielberg asked Miller to direct an episode of Twilight Zone, now a sci-fi classic.
What's great about that episode is that they took a director known for filming wide open spaces and they confined him to the inside of a plane with a claustrophobic guy. It's a very difficult scene to shoot, it's extremely tight, but he shone immediately. He showed that he wasn't limited to just one style, that he was something much more than just Mr. Mad Max.
At last we meet. To stay for a
Increasingly respected by Hollywood, Miller released fantasy comedy hit The Witches of Eastwick in 1987 and was selected as a Cannes Festival jury member in '88 and again in '99. Next up, Pigs.
She called us all babe.
And Penguins.
Take him to the chorus.
And last year, Miller's Mad Max Fury Road took Cannes' red carpet by storm. It was an instant success. The film brought in more than $370 million and won 6 Oscars. Miller is certainly a star director, but he's also notoriously discreet. What can we expect from his Cannes presidency? We'll have to wait till the 22nd of May to find out.
Like every year, the Cannes Film Festival begins with a glamorous opening ceremony. In the past, that's been hosted by stars like Kristen Scott Thomas, French actor Lambert Wilson of Matrix fame, or French actress Audrey Tautou, who's better known to international viewers as Amélie. This year, the MC spot goes to Laurent Lafitte, who is also starring in a film in competition. I met up with the French actor ahead of the festival in Paris. Laurent Lafitte, thank you so much for talking to us. You're going to be the master of ceremonies, both at the opening and closing ceremony. How did it feel when you got the call to do that?
I didn't really think. I just said yes. Now I'm thinking. I get a bit scared, but no, it's okay. I've just started writing, so I feel less anxious. The more you work, the less anxious you feel.
You have experience doing your own one-man show. You have a lot of stage experience. You hosted France's Tony Awards, the Molière. Which of all of those do you think will help you the most on stage?
I think even when I'm hosting a ceremony, I always take it as an acting job. Because it's almost as if I had created my Master of Ceremony character and I just take him out of the wardrobe for different occasions, and this time I just try to write him some funny lines.
It's interesting, for years at Cannes, the host has always been a woman. Yes. There was Kristen Scott Thomas, Audrey Tautou, many other actresses. Then they shifted to a man, Lambert Wilson, for 2 years. Why do you think the shift? And did Lambert Wilson give you any advice?
I don't know. I think women always want equity, so that's what we're doing. We're just balancing on the other side. Yeah, it's time for men now.
Did Lambert Wilson give you any tips?
Not really. He told me how he felt. So did Mélanie Laurent, who did it the year before Lambert's first year. But yeah, it was more like feeling them more than advisors.
You're sort of the king of Cannes. You're in a film, no, seriously, you're presenting. It's a big deal, presenting the opening and closing ceremonies, and you're in a film that's in competition, Elle by Paul Verhoeven. You could find yourself in the strange position of announcing yourself as Best Actor.
No, I can't. No, because I have a supporting role in Paul's movie. None of the main character is Isabelle Huppert's part. So no, I won't get any award for my acting. Not this year.
Je l'ai pris sur le vif. Il était accroupi dans mes buissons en train d'observer votre maison.
Et vous avez vu son visage?
Non, il portait un masque ou une espèce de cagoule de ski.
Tu la raccompagnes, hein? Non, c'est pas la peine.
Paul Verhoeven, and a director that many people know outside of France for movies like Basic Instinct. He was there in Cannes for that. RoboCop, Total Recall. Was there one of those movies that spoke to you the most when you were thinking about accepting the part in Elle?
Yes, most of them actually. What I like with Paul Verhoeven is the European dimension of his Hollywood work. That even when he respects the codes, when he does a film like Starship Trooper, it's an action movie, it's a blockbuster, but there is also a very political message. And in I love Showgirls, which is not considered...
It's a cult classic for some.
It became a cult classic, actually. When it was released, people said that it was like a, how could I say, a very tacky and cheap, vulgar movie about Las Vegas, but that's what Las Vegas is. It's tacky, it's vulgar, it's sexy and cheap at the same time. So I think he was right on pitch. So no, he's a very clever man. Yes.
Another great director who'll be judging all the films in competition is George Miller. George Miller, famous for Mad Max, but who also did Babe, the Pig.
Yes,
which one speaks to you more?
But that's what I like about the guy actually, is that he doesn't stick to one style. And when you go from Babe to Happy Feet or The Witches of Eastwick, I mean, it's amazing. It sounds as if he was a major studio more than a director, because he goes in so many different ways. It's very impressive.
You've had a chance to work on some international films yourself. You were in The Love Punch with Pierce Brosnan and Emma Thompson. Is it something that appeals to you? Many French actors have gone on to have great careers in the States. Jean Dujardin, Marion Cotillard. Could you see yourself one day pursuing more of a career there?
Maybe. I don't have the Hollywood fantasy as I used to when I was 15 or because the more I do this job, the more I do it for the good reasons, I think. So I just want to do good movies, whether they're American, French or whatever.
You are also part of the Comédie Française. For our international viewers, that's the troupe that Molière created hundreds of years ago. What have you learned from that experience that helps you in your film career?
We do several plays in one season. You can do up to 4 or 5 plays in one season, so you don't have time to be scared or to think too much. You have to be efficient and you have to always go forward, and that's what helps me. We've been working on many different writers. In one season I worked on Shakespeare, Feydeau, Voltaire, so it makes you very strong as an actor.
All right, now your next big challenge, of course, is hosting the opening and the closing ceremonies at Cannes. Just to wrap up, do you have a favorite Cannes memory? Perhaps a favorite meeting of someone in Cannes who you didn't know before?
A very strong souvenir of Cannes is I was quite young, I think I was 14 or something like that. I was watching it on TV, and there was Maurice Pialat, who received the award for the Sous le Soleil de Satan. And some people were against that decision, the jury, and he went, well, if you don't like me, I don't like you. Anyway, so I think it was quite strong, and it's very representative of Cannes, of what Cannes can be. Strong films, strong positions.
Laurent Lafitte, thank you so much.
Thank
Master
you very
of
much.
Ceremonies, opening and closing ceremony. We'll see you soon, and we'll see you
If I don't get
soon.
fired.
If you don't get fired.
Between the two ceremonies.
We'll cross our fingers.
Yes, okay.
All right. That's Laurent Lafitte, and I can assure you he definitely still has the job. Well, don't forget, for all of the details of the opening and closing ceremonies and everything in between, you can tune into our non-stop Cannes coverage. There'll be live updates, behind-the-scenes reports, and of course, our daily in-depth interview show, Cannes Rendezvous. It all kicks off a Wednesday evening at 6:30 p.m. Paris time with our opening night special. We'll see you there.